Hello everybody and welcome to the first video from Top Grades Education. Hope everyone's had a fantastic Christmas. Today what I'm going to do is give you a little trick, and it's ideal for New Year's Eve. It will make you look like an absolute genius. You can compete with an individual or you can compete with an entire room of people, and provided they've not seen this and they don't know the trick, you'll look like a genius. All you need is a calendar, so you should have one of those lying around, either from last year or the new one from this year. And the challenge is to frame any 9 numbers, and it has to be a 3x3 grid, and then it's a race to add up the total for the numbers that have been framed. So, for example, I could frame these numbers here, and I can tell you straight away that that grid adds up to 90. So you could frame the grid yourself, but it's better if you let the person you're competing with or somebody else frame the grid, because otherwise you could be cheating. I could have had this pre-prepared and know that that's going to be 90. Sometimes it can take a little tiny bit longer. I'm going to frame this grid here, but you start adding those 9 numbers together. I'm going to tell you that that is 126. So if you add those up, you should find that those numbers add up to 126. But how is it that I do it so quickly? Well, I'm going to explain to you how it's done. This is one of the things we do at Top Grades. We don't just give you the trick, we explain to you why things work. That's the important thing. The trick is all very well, but the powerful thing is understanding, and it's true for all maths. Understanding is the key, not just the little tricks that we get given at school. So I'm going to demonstrate this with a couple of quick examples. So I'm going to frame 9 numbers here, and I'm going to frame another 9 numbers. I'll do, let's do these 9 numbers here. So these will just demonstrate what I'm doing on the grid. We are going to break out some algebra, so don't run away, because this is where the understanding comes in. Algebra is your friend because it explains how the world works. So I'm going to start by calling the middle number x. So on my 2 example grids here, I want to look now at the number that goes in this position. If that's x, that is always 1 more. If we look on this, that one was 20, that one's 21, it's 1 more. So whatever your middle number is, the number to the right of it is always x plus 1. It's always 1 more than the middle. The number to the left, do the same thing. So we've got 9 here, this is 1 less. We've got 20 here, this is 1 less. And it doesn't matter where you put your grid, that will always be 1 less. So that will always be x. Take away 1. If we go to the row below, we can see that this is 9 and this is 15. So that's 6 more. This is 20, this is 26. Wherever you go, it will be x plus 6. The next one along will be x plus 7, and this one will be x plus 8. And we can just test that out with another grid. We could do as many grids as we like. If we frame this one up here, we can see that this is 10 and this is 8 more. So it's always add 8 for that corner. If we go to the top row, you should see that if we looked at this being 9 and this being 3, this is 6 less. So we've got x take away 6. Same happens here. That's 20. That's always 6 less. This is always 7 less than the middle number, and this is always 8 less than the middle number. Now, what was our challenge? Our challenge was to add the grid together as quickly as possible. So let's add together our algebraic expressions. Each box has got an x in, so we've got 9 x's. And then let's look at our numbers. We have a plus 8 here, but we also have a minus 8, so that makes 0. We have a plus 7 and a minus 7, that makes 0. We have a plus 6 and a minus 6, which makes 0. We have a plus 1 and a minus 1, which makes 0. So our grid adds up to 9x. And what is x? X is the middle number. So this grid here, the middle number is 9. 9 times by 9 is going to give us 81. This grid will add up to 81. The grid down here, we've got 20 as our middle number. So we've got 20 times 9, which is going to give us 180. And this grid here, 10 is the middle number, so that grid will add up to 90. And that's it. That's the trick. Now you might get some numbers that are a little bit more difficult. Let's say we went to, let's say we did this. Let's say we did this grid, let's say we had 23 as our middle number. Well, I don't know what 23 times 9 is, not off the top of my head, but it's very easy to work out. I can do 23 times by 10 is going to give me 230. And in my head, it's easy enough to take off 20, because I only want 9 23s, so I'm going to take off 20, give me 210, take off 3, which will give me 207. You can do that more quickly than anyone else can add together those 9 numbers. Or if you're really unsure, you could have a calculator race. You type in 9 times 23. Meanwhile, everyone else is adding together 15 and 16 and 17. And you can just say, got it, finished, and give them the answer. And that's how you look like a genius. And that's how understanding it is more powerful than just being given the trick. Okay, have a fabulous new year, everyone, and we will see you in the new year.